There's no evidence at this point to indicate that the raging fire that laid bare large tracts of land on Table Mountain in April was a natural occurrence. The blaze decimated large parts of the University of Cape Town, causing wide-scale damage to historical buildings. The City of Cape Town and Sanparks have released the report on the fire. Sanparks believes the fire was started intentionally. eNCA's Nobesutu Hejana has been following that story and joins us now from Cape Town with an update. And we are hearing the official word now, Nobesutu, from the authorities, and you are on standby with an authority from Table Mountain. But it seems from the report that they've released that this was not a natural occurrence.
Definitely, Tulas, what we heard from the investigator, Mr. Rob Erasmus, he was saying that a white car was spotted 2 minutes before the actual fire was reported in that spot, and he says that they believe that the fire was started by those people in that car, but at this stage they don't want to give more information because they are investigating. They're also saying that they do believe they have a strong case when those people are apprehended, but they also believe that this was not a natural fire. But I'm now joined by the manager of fire at the Table Mountain, Mr. Philip Prince. So we talked about what we can learn from these fires for further prevention measures, but we do know that this is an open space. So how do we then monitor who comes in and who doesn't?
Well, yeah, we talked about the investigation. Unfortunately, the investigation is not yet concluded. It is still continuing, as you just mentioned. If we talk about Table Mountain National Park, it's an open access park. We don't have any fences around this park. It's not like any other national park. So it's very difficult to control people coming into the park and people going out of the park. If we look at lessons learned from this park, we must look at statistics. We do keep statistics of previous fires within the park and how the fires actually started. Because we've got a national park embedded within a city with a population of 4 to 5 million, we do have a problem with homeless people within the park. 45%, if you look at the statistics from the previous fire season, 45% of our fires within the park are started by homeless people, and then also plus minus 42% of the fires within the park are started maliciously. In other words, people that come in that set deliberate fires in the park and then go out again.
Let's talk a bit about the investigations, because at this point no further information was given to the media, but we know that there was a white car.
Yes, that was what the investigator told us this morning. Rob Erasmus from Enviro Wildfire Service was appointed as the investigator by Table Mountain National Park. He's also working with the city in this regard, and as you can hear this morning, there's very good cooperation between the city and Table Mountain National Park to investigate this fire and to see if we can get the culprits that started this fire and bring them to book.
And a reward of 10,000 is now being issued to anyone with information. So what can the public look out for when they say this is the person?
Well, that contact will be made available by the fire investigator, but there was a reward of 10,000 rand mentioned this morning. There was also, in addition to the reward mentioned by Alderman J.P. Smith, that still needs to be confirmed. But that will go out in terms of the information that people, or what the investigator required from the public. That information will go out hopefully by today. So if the public, if they've seen anything suspiciously that morning when the fire started, they need to contact the fire investigator. And as I said, that details will be made available later during the day.
And earlier on, you did talk about a 3.1 million damage that was caused by this fire. So what are we looking at when we take about that sum?
Yeah, that was the actual cost of extinguishing the fire from Table Mountain National Park side. That was the helicopter cost, which was actually a plus minus 900,000 rand, and the helicopter cost was actually over 2 million. That amount was shared between the City of Cape Town and Table Mountain National Park. And as I said, the remainder of that cost was in terms of the actual firefighting, the wages for the firefighters, overtime, transport and things like that.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Prince. Well, to us, that was Mr. Philip Prince from the Table Mountain. Well, they do say that at this stage they cannot divulge on the information of that car, but they are asking and appealing to the public or members of the public, to anyone who might have seen a suspicious car around the Philip Khosane Road at around 20 to 9 on Sunday morning when that actual fire was reported. They also do say that when they had that briefing that the person or the people of interest will be charged with arson as well as the damage to property in and around the areas that were damaged by that fire. Over 600 hectares were destroyed by those blazing fires in April.
Sure, my goodness. And I think the word damage is perhaps an understatement. It was utter devastation in as far as that fire is concerned. Nobesutu Hejana, live for us in Cape Town. So there you have it. The authorities there in Cape Town believe that those fires that destroyed so many properties and disrupted life in and around Cape Town, UCT, destroyed historic collections at the library there at UCT, residences destroyed and gutted, really. Authorities now believe that there was nothing natural about those fires, and there may have been a case of arson, people who started that fire deliberately, and therefore a reward of 10,000 rand being offered for the public to come forward with information around a white car that they're saying was spotted in and around that area before the fires started.